All right, so in math today, we discussed the essential question of how can you find a fractional part of a group. Okay, basically, this is the beginning of multiplying fractions. We talked a little bit about adding, subtracting, talked about our quizzes, and then we dived into this. And we didn't quite get a chance to finish it, so we're going to talk more about this tomorrow. So if you don't understand it, no big deal. But try this out. I'm going to do number 2 for you. This is number 2 on the homework. Keep in mind, on the homework, it says very clearly, use a model to solve. Now, some of you are probably thinking, I know how to do 7/8 times 16. Great. I'm glad you do. I want you to use a model. The first thing I want you to remember is that 7/8 times 16 is the same as 7/8 of 16, right? Either one of these is they mean the same thing. Of means times. So if there's one thing that you take away, make sure that you remember that these are the same. They're the same thing. So keep that in mind when we're doing this problem. Now, to use a model to solve this, we're going to do a couple things. We need to ask ourselves, how many rows are there going to be? Well, the number of rows that we have is going to be dictated by the denominator in our division problem. So in this case, 8 rows. We're going to have 8 rows available to us. Now, how many are going to be in each row? We're not really sure. And the way that we figure this is that we need 8 rows and, or I'm sorry, 8 pieces in a row, right? And we need it to add up to 16, right? So if I have 8 here, so I have one row of 8, and that's 8. What times 8 is 16? You could think like that. Well, I know I need one more row of 8 to equal 16. Okay? And notice I kind of have these really neat groups, right? You see these really nice groups? They're in groups of 2. If you can't see them, I'm going to color them for you. See how these are like, here's a group, right? Here's a group, and so on, right? So those groups that I'm showing you, those are in groups of 2. And in order to solve this problem, we simply need to look at our numerator, which is 7, and circle 7 rows, or 7 of our groups. So if we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we know that it should be that we circle all of these. And then we can count what is circled. So in this case, it's 16 it's 2 less than 16, which is 14. So our answer is 14. So if you counted those up and you got 14, that is the correct answer. Now, a couple things that you need to recognize. One, that 16 is represented by how many total there are. Right? 8 is the representation of how many are in each of the rows. Right? And so there's a row here, there's a row here. We have 2 rows. This row plus this row equals 16, right? And this answer, or this numerator right here, is a representative of how many groups we are going to circle. If this was 3/8, what would the answer be? Okay, if it was 3/8, let me just show you the difference. If this was 3/8 instead, okay, so instead, what if it was 3/8 of 16? Just going to show you the difference. 3/8 of 16 would be everything's the same, except now we're only circling 3 groups, and our answer would be 2, 4, 6, right? 2, 4, 6 would be 6 instead of 14. Right? And that's if it was 3/8. So we have 7/8, so our answer is 14. Okay? If you have any trouble with that, no big deal. We'll talk about it tomorrow. If you get this, great. Do these for a bonus. You can finish the back, so you can do 135 and 136. If you're just worrying about tonight's homework, finish out 135. You got 2 word problems on the bottom, 7 and 8. Good luck, And if you have trouble, maybe rewind the video and see if it makes more sense doing it that way. All right? Good luck.